Let's talk about the NFL playoffs and the college football playoffs, and also the NFL MVP race. Let's get it. Welcome to the Deep Dive Sports Podcast. This is my first episode of this podcast, and I kind of just want to use this podcast to talk about sports in general. I have my Black and Gold Standard podcast, which is dedicated to the Pittsburgh Steelers. But this podcast here, I kind of want to, talk about everything, not just Steelers football. So, real quick, I want to go into the college football playoffs. Um, they had the first round, and me personally, I think it kind of fell the way the committee probably wanted it to happen. And I know a lot of people say, what are you talking about? You had a couple blowouts, but I kind of believe the committee knew that would probably happen, and I think they wanted that to happen. So now, moving forward, they can justify putting the three-loss Alabama team or a three-loss any team if they feel like that's one of the better teams, and they can go back and look at the fact that they put some teams in that they knew that shouldn't have been there. I don't think Indiana should have been there. I don't think SMU should have been there. I don't even think Tennessee should have been there. Um, Granted, they lost less games, but just because you can have a team to go 12-0, and you can have a team to go 9-3, and the 9-3 team can actually be a better team. I mean, they really need to go by strength of schedule, but I don't know. So let's just run it. We'll get into this a little deeper later on in the week. Got Ohio State and Oregon rematch. Oregon won that first game. They actually played in Oregon, so that a neutral field, but they out by the Rose Bowl. So I don't know how neutral that'd be, but even though Ohio State fans travel well, so this game here, I still believe that Oregon will pull this game out. I think Ohio State, that was a big emotional game for them, blowing Tennessee out. I think they really wanted to get that Michigan sting, off of them. But I think Oregon is actually the better team, and I think Oregon will win. Texas and Arizona State. Again, I think Arizona State is a team that, with them, I really can't say they don't belong because they did take care of their business and won their conference championship. But I think actually Texas is the best team in this tournament, especially if they woke up and got smart and played Arch Manning. I think they would roll through everybody. But I see this game maybe getting out of hand. I see Texas winning big. You got Georgia and Notre Dame. I really don't believe in Notre Dame. But the one thing I say about Georgia, they got this new quarterback they're playing, so that might hurt their offense a little bit. And Notre Dame, actually, they do have a decent defense. So it's going to be a good game. But I think Georgia can pull it off. I think Georgia's defense might be too much for Notre Dame's um, offense. But, we'll see. And the last game, Boise State and Penn State. Penn State, man, I don't know who they know on the committee, but Penn State pulled the best draw, out of this tournament. And I just think Boise, at the end of the day, even though I'm not impressed with Penn State, I think Penn State offense is terrible. But I don't think Boise has enough. I think offensively, yeah, they got the good running back, but I think Penn State can shut him down. Well, I won't say shut him down, but control him, that he don't take over the game. And I think Penn State defense may be too much for Boise. So, like I said, we'll get into this a little bit more next week. But I just wanted to kind of touch on it, and for the most part, I'm happy for the 12 teams. I just don't think they picked the right 12 or the scenario that they used to pick the 12. I have an issue with that, but um, we'll see how it go. So my next thing I wanted to talk about was the NFL's MVP race. It's really up. It's four guys: Lamar, Lamar Jackson, Allen from Buffalo, Saquon Barkley, and Derrick Henry. Um, let's just knock out the two running backs. I don't think they really have a chance of winning. The only way these guys will win, it's probably really more on Barkley if they, if he breaks Eric Dickerson's rushing record, then he has a shot. Other than that, even if you rush for 2,000 yards, I don't know if he could actually get this award because this is unfortunate. This is a quarterback award, and I think before they give it to a running back, I think they probably would give it to a receiver. But with that said, Lamar Jackson, Allen, um, I think Allen is probably the leader, even though Lamar, I mean, his stats are unbelievable. I don't really see him giving him a third one right now. And I really think Allen is actually playing a little better. He has a less supporting cast, and he's putting up big numbers. And I really think Buffalo has a legit shot of getting to the Super Bowl. And I think the way stuff may break down, um, Baltimore might actually be going to Buffalo. So, but even though the award would be already determined by the time they play that game, but I think right now Allen is probably the leader in the pack. It seems like right now Lamar is going to win the AFC North. Like Pittsburgh Steelers has totally collapsed, so that's going to kind of help Lamar a little bit, being a division winner. So we'll see how it go. And like I said, the playoff picture is pretty much set. But we'll get into that next week after they we'll know probably next week how this thing is really gonna go. And we'll get in more detail about that. But I just kind of wanted to get this podcast started. And like I say, I'll use this platform to talk about more sports in general and not just one team. I hope you enjoy it. Subscribe and like, and I will talk to you next time. All right, take care.